Hello viewers, it is your favorite spoiler from the recap room. For more updates, stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Julia's water breaks in the beginning of the episode, and she is soon restricted to the dining room as women arrive to assist with the baby's delivery. At this point, things rapidly change when Davina informs everyone that Julia tried to woo Brian and seduced Simon Fraser. She still doesn't think Simon is the child's father. At first, the women intended to help Julia, but they quickly turn against her in order to find out who the child's biological father is. After all, at first they think this is the King of Scotland who has been prophesied. Uncertain whether or not this is Simon's child, the women do wind up arguing with one another. Flashbacks of Davina's time with Simon are seen as she continues to insist that the women make Julia change her ways. As it happens, Simon sexually assaulted Davina on a regular basis. She worked as a maid in Castle Leathers and was given the same punishment as other women since they believed she was responsible for becoming pregnant with Simon's illegitimate son. Naturally, this was during a time when a wife was present, so having a mistress around made everything worse. Davina understands that in all of this, Julia is merely an innocent woman. She simply took the necessary action to safeguard her child, and now Davina supports her and the mother is expelled. Simon Fraser wants to ensure that the child is born legitimately because he believes that this child will grow up to be the future King of Scotland. He must wed Julia. It throws off his plans to wed Julia. Davina initially states unequivocally that Julia will not be able to attend the kirk. The priest is then brought to the birthing room at Castle Leathers by Simon, but Julia is not prepared for this. The baby is on the way. This brings up memories of Julia giving birth to Claire while Henry was present. The entire room is full with love and hope, as well as agonizing cries, "Poor Julia," and there is only one midwife present. The birth of their second child contrasts with this lovely occasion. Initially, the infant is silent at birth, but Davina manages to revive the youngster. Indeed, Maisri was correct, the baby is a male. Julia tells Brian at the beginning of the show that this child will not be his brother. But because she had to protect her child with her husband, she decided to sleep with Simon. It's obvious that Brian won't divulge Julia's secrets because he whips Simon after he tries to hit Davina and drives him out of the room. It turns out that Simon wants Brian to stand for something that will benefit the family, which is why Brian wants to know what he can do to make Simon proud of him. He had no intention of standing up for his mother. Brian admits in a heartbreaking moment that he has no idea when his birthday is. He hasn't inquired about it, and Davina has never celebrated it. Although Julia notes that he is Davina's greatest joy, he holds himself responsible for how difficult her life has been. She has, after all, always taken the necessary precautions to keep her son safe, and no decent mother ever grumbles about that. Julia makes the decision to make things different for Brian. She chooses to light a candle in the room's cake and asks Brian to blow it out while making a wish, following his announcement to Archbug that he would locate some midwives. As it turns out, he has known Julia was pregnant all along and that his baby is due any moment. Arch reveals that he has experienced the loss of a kid. His wife, Merdina, almost left him when his son was stillborn. This man finally demonstrates sympathy and humanity, but it won't last, will it? He does reveal that Isaac Grant had the ability to get ladies to visit Castle Grant and disclose whether or not they assisted in childbirth. Following several false starts, Henry learns from a woman that a crofter and his wife had taken in Julia Beecham, who was present when the baby was born. She claims that the mother and child were buried in a pauper's grave, although she is unsure of the location. Naturally, Henry initially finds it hard to believe. We discover that it is completely untrue. Naturally, we can tell it's a narrative the moment the woman brings up the crofter. It was made by Arch and Isaac so that Henry would no longer look for Julia. Henry returns to his recollections as he comes to terms with it. He rushes straight to Julia to tell him about the conclusion of World War I. It turns out that Henry doesn't travel to post-World War II, this was an editing/filming error. This is from the trailer clip. Since we can see that Henry has rushed to the lady at the brothel while he is imagining his Julia in 1918, it is also possible that Henry's memory is flawed. After realizing what is happening, the prostitute cooperates, even bringing him to her bed. We see how deeply Henry is grieving, and it's a devastating moment. When he breaks past it, what will happen? Is he going to get past it? Thanks for watching, stay tuned for more updates.